All right. Hi, everybody. This is live testimonial with my past clients number 4. I have this lady. Her name is Emily. She's absolutely amazing. She's coming on today. I'm working through my client list, picking out all the amazing ones. So Emily is going to come on and answer the same questions, just give you guys a feel of what it's like to have a reading with me. And I hope you guys enjoy as usual. I will see if I can't add her on. Oh, I can't. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, there we go.
It worked.
Hello there. Took me a second. What is up with you today? How are you doing?
Amazing. Great. Even better that I'm talking to you now.
Okay, well, thank you. Agreed. I've been like counting down the hours till this moment because I was like, let's just get it done. Let's show people what's up. So I don't blame you. Obviously, I told you that we had some questions I was going to ask you today so everybody can understand what it's like to have a reading with me and just understand, I would say, the Maddie way or the Maddie vibe, as unique as it is, we all know. But obviously, you and I have done probably how many readings together? Probably.
Oh man. I would say 6, 7, maybe more.
Probably over 6. Definitely. Yeah. Emily's a repeat client and we love her. So I would say we met this year. It was earlier this year. And then it's just kind of been continuously. Emily does like monthly checkups. She comes and sees me and we pull cards and figure out what's going on, make sure she's on the right path. Got to make sure you're sticking with your universal plan. It's always easier to do it for somebody else. I myself struggle with pulling cards for myself. So it's always fun to be able to do it for somebody else. So when we first met, what did you originally come to me for? Was it the reading or the mentorship?
It was the reading.
Okay.
That's what I first came for. I was not prepared for all of the knowledge and the wisdom that I received. But yeah, it was for the reading.
Yes, I remember your facial expressions because I feel like you came in just kind of trying to see what it was about. Like you have a pretty good spiritual like root system, but you're kind of feeling me out. And then I kept seeing your face change like, oh my. I'm like, yeah. Like, hi.
Because there's so many times I'm like, oh my God, like that's legit my life right now. Like she's like, we're so in sync with each other and I think that's so powerful.
I agree, girl. Well, thank you. Yeah, we're definitely, I feel like over the time we've known each other and become friends and do other things for each other, I feel like it's definitely like grown a bond. I feel like we definitely know like how to treat the other, I'd say, like where they need it, what to say. And I feel like the cards really help me with that. And I feel like we've pretty much become pretty strong little unit there. A good team, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. I was going to say, like, obviously everybody comes to a reading for a reason, whether it just be, I always tell people beforehand, like, you either come with me for a specific question, talk to a specific dead person, or we like wing it and just see what the universe wants to say to you. So what were you initially seeking when you came to a reading with me?
I think I just wanted more like clarity and a stronger intuition on like knowing that I know the answers.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of just seeking that clarity.
Agreed. Yeah. And I mean, boy, I use Oracle cards mainly in all of my readings for anybody that doesn't know that. And Oracle really relies more on the reader to fill in the blanks. And I feel like I like immediately connected with Emily and I was like, girl, we got to fix some things. And I feel like she calls me out too. So back to the United Front thing, I'll be doing a reading for her. And she's like, shouldn't you be saying that to yourself? I'm like, okay, girl. Okay. Like, I hear you. Okay. All right. Turning it back on me. All right. I see you. Okay. So clarity, better intuition. Deal. Yeah. The cards are crazy. Like no matter like the cards in like like over time of owning any type of like oracle or tarot cards, you build a relationship with those cards and you know how to use them. And I feel like my cards like really call people out, and that's why I love them so much. I go immediately to what you need to fix. So Emily is very she knows that well. Um and
I
then
think so. I think the other piece that we're kind
mhm,
of like the other piece that I would like to talk about is it's not
mhm,
just the cards, but it's like your
yeah.
energy. So it's also like you being in that space and holding
Mhm,
that space because
yeah.
not every we don't all have that. And so that's the
Mhm.
other thing that I really appreciate too.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's I can agree. I teach a lot of people to help them get closer to that spot, and I like feel like happy that I can help them get there to be like closer to their soul like I am. So I would take that. I agree. I definitely feel like an example and a helper, I'd say. Definitely a pusher, to be really motivating, like your own little personal cheerleader, for sure. So what did DJ say last live? Like it's the Maddie motivation or whatever. Um, it's a different vibe. I'm like, yeah, no, you got it. You're good. It's okay. I think you're, yeah. See, that's a trend. All of you guys are saying that, and I love you for it. I agree. Um,
I am going to have to move to a different location. Can you still hear
oh
me?
yeah, now I can. Yeah, you just tuned back in.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to have to move to a different location because I keep losing you in and
Oh
out.
no,
So we're
it's all
back
good.
now.
I had to reset. Like we have like a Wi-Fi extender in our house because my room's kind of in the far back, so I had to reset that before this too. So don't worry, girl. Agreed. Um, so other than just knowing me, what made you choose me over another psychic? Do you feel like it was just the universe throwing me at you? Like what made you like come my way? Like what about me spoke volumes, you could say.
Well, I think like I can feel energy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yes.
being able to feel like the good energy
Mm-hmm.
and I already knew your mom. So I was like, okay, this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a safe space. I don't have to worry about some
Oh yeah.
kind of crazy
Mm-hmm.
person. You know, you hear those myths
Yeah.
about psychics.
Mm-hmm.
And so like
Yeah.
knowing that energy, knowing your
Mm-hmm.
energy, knowing you. And then
Mm-hmm.
after my first reading, I was like, dang, like she's spot
Mm-hmm.
on. So I was like, then I was like, it was a completely different
Mm-hmm.
story.
Well, damn, see, and that's like one of the that's so I'm like so happy to hear that because that's one of my biggest things. Like, I've been to psychics before that I was like kind of like psychics that like made me nervous after the reading, and like after that, I started getting into it because I started having my own like spiritual experiences, and I knew this was kind of going to be my path in life. I like in my heart, like I knew that I would never end a session making somebody nervous, and I would make sure they knew like, hey, you got this, like end it with a positive note, like make sure that they understood that there's like a plan for them in the universe. It's okay. Like I had a psychic way back when tell like kind of like throw me to the wolves almost. I will never do that to a client. I will make sure they know they're loved and appreciated and that they can handle this. So I'm happy that I have that impact on people because I would say I really try to do that. Golden rule all the way, like all the way. Do unto others as you want done unto you. So trying to help.
Yeah. And I think it's so important to have that safe
Mm-hmm.
space, not just
Oh
even
yeah.
in a psychic, but like that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know their energy and I can't feel it, I'm
Yeah,
not signing up for that stuff.
I agree. I go by my gut. I tell everybody to go by your gut. Your gut knows the answer. And, and I really like also that comfortability. Like, plus, we talk about personal things. So I feel like it
Yeah.
helps that I can immediately get you into a like, it's okay mode. Because, like I said earlier, my cards kind of like go right for the gut. Like, they go right for the jugular. This is what we're talking about today, man. The universe pulls no punches. What were we saying earlier? This is their world. We're just living in it. So this is the
That's right.
universe's game. We're just here for it, I guess. um, just riding the wave over here. Yeah, no. I would say also that's one of my like favorite parts as well. Being able to be that motivator and be able to be like, yeah, don't worry. Hence the reason. Um, Emily gave me one of the aha moments to start the mentorship program. Um, that was kind of like one of my biggest, like, oh my gosh, you're right. Because I like cheerleading, like, I like motivating. Like, that is a brilliant idea. I think at the first I was a little skeptical because I was like, I don't know, I like talking to dead people. And then Emily's like, no, girl, no, you got this. And then here we are
Expand
today.
your world.
Yes. Yes. So, like I said earlier, we collectively push each other in different ways. So that's always good. It's always fun. I feel like we've already kind of touched on this, but what do you think your most unique part of a reading of your readings with me was? Like, what was the most unique part about it?
I think it challenges me sometimes to have a different perspective because sometimes I have like really
Mm-hmm.
high expectations of myself. And then for you to
Mm-hmm.
come in and be like, girl, you need to check
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Like maybe your
Mm-hmm.
expectations are too high. And
Yes.
just to kind of
Mm-hmm.
have that other spiritual person to be able
Mm-hmm.
to be like, you're kind of,
Yeah.
just to check me. And
Mm-hmm.
then also to get that different insight because I know like
Yeah.
you're also connected to a higher good and knowing,
Yes.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's who I want to surround my life with. I don't want to surround my life
Mm-hmm.
with people that are
Oh
not
my
at the
gosh.
highest energy, the highest good.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's huge. And to know that
Mm-hmm.
at any point in time I can reach out and I have that as a
Mm-hmm.
resource. So for
Yeah.
anyone watching this, like if you've never
Mm-hmm.
done a reading, open up your mind. Don't listen to the
Mm-hmm.
myths. Just try it.
Yes. Yes.
And the worst thing worse, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like she's gonna go in and tell you you're gonna have this horrible future because that used to be my beliefs. Like a
Mm-hmm.
reading is gonna be like that's gonna be my
Yeah.
future, and I'm not gonna like
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. Scary a
um,
little bit. It's nerve-wracking. You don't know what they're gonna say. So I can agree with that. Mm-hmm.
but no, just like having that safe space, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
reading is not what a lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
So
It's honestly, like you said, like don't listen to the stereotypes or anything like that. Especially don't listen to Hollywood. I'm not gonna haunt you. This is a safe place. This is good. This is good. I will lead you toward your highest good. I swear. It's gonna be okay. And like to piggyback on that, I have a lot of people and I'm the same way. Like I'm also like very real in my readings. Like I'll call myself out in the middle of the reading, like, yeah, I do that too, but don't worry, girl. Like this is how you fix it. Even though I haven't fully fixed it yet, don't worry. This is the answer. Like I a lot of people like everybody has a certain level or standard they hold themselves to in their head. We're all our own worst critic. So I feel like I really enjoy being able to be like, girl, like, or whoever, like, listen, you can knock it down. Like, you're good. If you get three things done today and that's what you can handle, you're okay. I had somebody the other day, they were making like lists of things that they needed to get done. And I do the same thing. I'll have sticky notes everywhere of stuff I need to get done, and then I'll get three things done and think that the world is ending. I think we were talking about this earlier too. And
yep.
like I'll think the world's ending, and I like that reading also opened up my mind. I'm like, well, yeah, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. Like, give yourself what you like can handle for the day. Don't give yourself 50 task list items. Give yourself 10. So I feel like I also like those aha moments in readings where I'm like, you don't got to do it that way. There's you got to give yourself a break sometimes. Like sometimes you just got to throw yourself a bone and be like, this is how I have to do it today. And coming from a human that is her also own worst critic, I understand. You just got to push through it, people. And I feel like I definitely try to like preach that in readings all the time. I'm like, listen, it's okay. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna handle this. Um, Also, I think DJ joined. Hi, DJ. Um, but what? Trying to think. What would be? Trying to think of my favorite moment as we were doing readings together. But I was gonna ask you, what was your favorite part of all of the readings you've done with me? What was your favorite thing about it?
That's a hard question to
Yeah, I
answer.
know. I was like, I don't even think I don't have something that pops up. Like I just feel like that the
I
whole thing's
feel like
fun.
the most impactful one was when after
Mm-hmm.
I done ayahuasca because there wasn't much of an integration support, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you were able to give me some of that integration
Mm-hmm.
support. So I feel like that
Mm-hmm.
was really impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. I feel like every one of them were impactful. I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have one that stands
Yeah.
out. But that's one of them that really stands
Mm-hmm.
out.
Okay, I can get with that. Yeah, Emily went on this really cool, like, like, I don't know, it was awesome. This spiritual retreat. She did a whole bunch of stuff, and I gave her a reading before she left, and then when she came back, that was cool. I was excited to hear about how the retreat went. I've never been on a retreat. I was like, no, you got to tell me how this goes right now, like how this went. Um, I can't. Where was it again? Was it in Costa Rica?
Costa Rica, yeah.
Oh, look at me remembering things. All right, all right. Um, I can't remember my favorite part. I feel like all of it is kind of just like I enjoy it. So my brain's like, you don't really have a favorite, Maddie. It's like fun in general.
Okay.
But I would say probably our first reading because watching your attitude with me change from the beginning of the reading to the end. And it was like, okay, yeah, your name is Maddie. That's fun. And then towards the end, you're like, I'm coming to see you again. I was like, all right, girl, deal.
And then I was like, you need to do more than just readings.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She started coaching me up. Like, listen here. I was like, all right, girl. Emily is also a very good motivator, people. So
Thank
that's
you.
also
Thank
true.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. I also really liked figuring out all your spirit guide stuff and all of that. That was all really fun. Any type of spirit guide work is really cool when I do it with people because like I feel like I'm meeting new people, and sometimes spirit guides are so funny and feisty. Like, in my last live testimony, I talked about my spirit guide Roger. He's feisty as heck. Like, he is my feistier side because I'm a genuinely like a calm human, and he's like my feisty side. And Emily's is very like she kind of just like that. They're like not really the same but opposites. So it's always cool to see how like different your guides are on the other side compared to your actual personality. So that'd probably be one of my favorites too because I remember liking your spirit guide. Didn't Roger get along with? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Okay. Yeah. So it also helps when my guides like your guides. It's like, oh, okay. I can get the information a little easier. Roger's like, yeah, her spirit guide looks like this. I'm like, okay, deal. Um, but I would say so. Obviously, we don't really have a favorite. We kind of just collectively enjoy. But what would be your biggest, like, holy moly, Maddie's the real deal? What the heck moment out of all of them?
I would say the first session, like when I saw like
Yeah.
the reading and I went into with an open mind and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, shit, like this stuff is so spot on. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't let it go now, right? It's so spot
Yeah.
on. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I need to continue to work with her because it was
Mm-hmm.
helping me connect, to more spiritual guides, to be more open, to
Yeah.
like, it was like a whole other world had opened up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. You're right. I had somebody say that to me the other day too. Like, like one of my, she'll be on a live eventually, but she was like a full blown like atheist until I came, like when I was still doing in person readings, and I went to her house, and then after I like,
Yeah.
so it's definitely hits you with that. So, all right, I'll take that. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I get that sometimes too. Like, I still surprise myself in readings, as weird as that is. I picked up on somebody's ghost the other day. Like, I jumped out of this chair. Like, I was so excited. I was like, no way. Like, that is cool because I usually don't try to connect to ghosts in the house through virtual stuff. And then, like, I like picked up on this lady who had um, like the ghost is kind of connected to her. And I picked up on that. And she's like, yeah, my aunt told me that. I was like, out of the chair. I was like, heck yeah. Just because I hadn't like got to that, like I had never tried that yet. I'm usually talking to your immediate dead people. I'm usually not fishing for dead people around you. So that was cool. So there's never a dull moment for anybody that does a reading with me. There's gonna be randomness all the time and good stuff. So okay, I'll take that as your holy moly moment. Accepted. So I feel like this one's gonna be a good question for you. Um, what benefits did you experience from the reading with me after the fact, like after all of them, like what kind of benefits did you get overall out of the experience?
I feel like after ayahuasca, after the plant medicine
Mm-hmm.
retreat, I felt like that reading really helped
Mm-hmm.
me. The integration part, again, that
Mm-hmm.
one was
Yeah.
really good. And I feel like the last one we had was, I kind of like a in your face type of reading, but it was
Yes.
what I needed because
Hmm.
once I had that reading and I sat with, I
Hmm.
was like, holy shit. I had so many holy
Oh
shit
yeah.
moments, right? And
Hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't
Yes.
believe that this
Hmm.
came out of one reading. I've done
Hmm.
multiples with you and it wasn't,
Yeah.
but it made me really, it opened up a lot more. And
Yeah.
it's, I think for those that are watching and they're listening to this, it's not just the day of
Mhm.
the reading, but it's afterwards too. You will still
Yes.
have the effects. You'll start connecting all the dots.
Hmm.
And you're
Yes.
like, that's why this and this and this happened. So it's like
Hmm.
Maddie's also a dot connector for you.
Oh yes. It's like an investigator over here. Like, hold up, let me feel your aura. Watch this.
Yeah.
Like,
So I feel
yeah.
like that's really powerful.
Hmm.
Those were like the moments, and
Hmm.
even though the readings, there's sometimes that I was like, shit, I don't want to hear that stuff, but
Yes.
I heard
Hmm.
it, and I think
Hmm.
like you were able to also help soften the blow a little bit. Like, girl, you
Yeah.
need to hear this, whether you want to hear it or not. This is
Hmm.
what it is.
Yep.
The slowing down, the
Hmm.
self-love, being,
Yep.
in the feminine
Hmm.
energy, all those things. And I
Yes.
think like when you communicate
Hmm.
those things to me, it's like
Hmm.
I know that like you're just coming from a place of love and I could take
Yeah.
it from you. So I
Amen.
think that's
Good.
powerful.
I can, like, yes, because I deal with a lot of people. I kind of had to learn to like be able to like, because the universe, it just will give you it. Like, it'll just like, yeah, guess what? Here you go. Here, this is what Matt's gonna say to you today. Good luck. Um, and I've kind of had to like filter that because some like, I wouldn't want to hear it that way. Like, I don't know. It's like somebody telling you to go on a diet or something. Like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you want me to go
sometimes
on a
I'm like,
diet? Fun. Mm-hmm.
yeah, sometimes I'm like, give it to
Yeah.
me straight because I love that
Yes.
approach. Give it
Mm-hmm.
to me straight, no
Yeah.
sugar coating. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yes. I think I told you a couple of times, like, the universe is, I think you told me this too. I think we like swap it back and forth with each other. Like, the universe is going to give you what you can handle. So you just kind of got to swallow that pill and just understand, like, so, excuse me, you're like really right. Like, over the next couple of days, your brain like breaks it down and you're like, oh, yeah, Maddie was right. Oh, oh, the cars are right. Okay, all right, I gotta make some changes. Okay, cool. It's like the effect after, like, it's crazy. It's like crazy how crucial the hours after and the day after the readings are. That is why I record all of my readings because sometimes it's so much of like, holy moly, like you're right that you miss all the little details in between. So people will go back and listen, like, oh, okay. Yeah, Maddie said this after that. I was stuck in my head because I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I could do that. So recordings are definitely important to fill in those blanks when you're like, okay, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I think having those recordings is really
Mm-hmm.
helpful for you to go back and listen to
Oh,
that,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
to reiterate some of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, heck, like I I get spiritual readings done by other people for myself and I forget them. So it's another one of those things like do unto others. Like I gotta help people because I can't remember either. I take notes all the time. Like my brain is everywhere, especially when I'm like in your dead people's brain. Like my brain is not here. I'm just zooming with your dead people on the other side. So here's a bigger question. Why would you recommend me and my services and my spiritual readings to somebody else who might be on the fence about mediums in the first place or spiritual readings?
Oh, that's an easy question. So I think I would recommend because I know where the energy is coming from to start with. It's always
Mm-hmm.
of the highest good. It's a protected
Mm-hmm.
energy. It's a protected
Yes.
space. The
Mm-hmm.
other thing I would say is the knowledge and the wisdom that you have that come along with it. So
Okay.
when I do have
Mm-hmm.
questions about a reading, it's not like you turn off, like you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't answer that. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, well, we can find this answer. So it's always like
Yeah.
the willingness to be like the support system,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think
Okay.
that's really powerful. I
Mm-hmm.
could go all day long on why I would recommend it. Even for those that have
Mm-hmm.
never ever done it, just have an
Mm-hmm.
open mind and have it done. Because you
Yes.
hear so many horror stories about people that get readings and they're like, shit, that's gonna be my life. But
Yes.
that's not how this really works. And I
Yeah.
think this is kind of what
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting, like, is she going to read into my
Yeah.
future? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how's this going to work? But it wasn't
Yes.
like that. And
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that came out
Mm-hmm.
of the reading as I started
Mm-hmm.
implementing them in my
Yeah.
life,
Mm-hmm.
we saw shifts, right?
Yep.
So
Did.
that's, I think, why I would recommend
Mm-hmm.
it.
Well, thank you. It's so true too, because like the future thing like messes with like a lot of people. And I can agree, like I kind of just want to like coast and help people and do my thing. So I have actually like, and it's completely okay. Anybody watching, if you're doing a reading with me and there's something, some part of like the services I offer that you don't want to do, like tell me. Like I have a lot of people actually tell me like I don't want to talk about any future stuff, and I'm like, okay, girl, that's fine. Like we can talk about everything else. Don't worry. Like don't feel like you saying to me like I don't want to talk about future stuff is a bad thing. Like it is your reading. Like I am here to help you and show you what you need to be shown. I'm not here to make you uncomfortable or anything. Like I said earlier, like I'm just trying to make it a comfortable situation where you could get the best possible good out of it. So there's, girls, set boundaries all day long with me. It's okay. And so, yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like I don't have the desire
Mm-hmm.
to really connect with any dead
Yeah.
people. So I don't really have any desire. I mean, if they want to give a message, fine, cool. If not, fine too.
Yeah.
So I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like we ever really
Yeah,
go
that's
there.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I agree. I would second
Mm-hmm.
that. Like we don't go into
Yeah.
space we don't want to go into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely, I always at the beginning of the reading ask you like what you want out of it. Like what do you want to do? What's your questions? Love, 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 love when people write out questions for me and we could just work our way down the list because then I know you're getting the most out of your reading with me because those are all your questions. We're getting them all answered. So I always tell people like, yeah. She's like, it's okay. Somebody's always like, okay if I bring notes. I'm like, yes, please. Makes my life so much easier. Let's work down your list. Oh, you froze again. But
Am I back?
yeah, you back. Uh, okay, dude. Here's the one that everybody's been really having to think on because it's tougher of the questions, but maybe easy for you. You never know. If there was one word to describe your experiences with me, what would it be and why?
Is life changing one word?
That's technically two, but we can rock with it. It has a hyphen, right? You could have a hyphen if you wanted it to.
Yeah, I would go with life changing. We're gonna make it one word for the day.
Heck yeah. Hey, it's our life. We can do as we please.
And make up words as we go.
Oh yeah. I feel like I make up words in readings all the time. Like I'll be trying to describe like an emotion I'm feeling and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of this and this. Like, yeah. And then they'll be like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm like, okay, good. Because they were trying to show it to me. I didn't know what they were doing. So good you know your family. So life changing. Why life changing?
Because I think it really is life changing. It's not just a reading, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not just
Yeah.
it really does change your life. If you go
Mm-hmm.
into it with an open mind, take the
Yeah.
things out of it that you need to take out of it and actually implement
Mm-hmm.
it, it does change
Yeah.
your life.
Oh, good. I love that. That's cute. I think it's like over these live testimonies, I've really like learned to reflect. Like obviously, like sometimes in my brain, like you get after yourself, everybody does, and I feel like sometimes in my brain, I'm like, oh, like am I doing enough with these people? Am I helping enough? And I feel like over these live testimonies, I'm like, oh dang, okay, maybe I am. All right, I'll believe you guys. Deal. Like definitely, everybody's your own worst critic, so it's okay. We're we get it over here in the Madylyn Rogers world. All right. Life changing. That was Emily's word. Or words, but word today. Um,
One word today.
yes, one word for the day. Um, I forgot what else I was gonna say. And if anybody's watching and you wanted to know how to book a reading with me, you can go to my website, links in my bio, or there's even a book now button on my Instagram. You can do it there. Whatever floats your boat. You can message me, I'll help you. But all of my services are up on my website. I post a little bit about my services on my Instagram so you can peruse and see all of my reels that are always interesting. I always try to put a Western spin on it because I do own a horse, so free world. But nonetheless, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I would just say for those that are on the fence about it,
Mm-hmm.
open mind going into it, and you never know
Mm-hmm.
what's like just
Yes.
open minds, open space, and you're going into a safe space. So
Agreed.
just try it.
Listen, that's going to be the caption for the video. Spiritual readings with Maddie are a safe place. There you
There
go.
you
We
go. There
figured
you
it out,
go.
right? Well, heck. Well, all right. Well, that's the last question I have for you. We made good time. So
We
hey,
did.
well, I overly appreciate you and
I
can
appreciate you too.
for doing this and continuing to let me be your spiritual guide on the crazy journey that is our lives on Earth and being human, because it's not really fun sometimes. So I appreciate you and thank you. And I guess you have a good night. And I will
You
text
too.
you.
Thanks. Thanks,
Okay.
Maddie.
All right. Bye.